Once again, you are welcome to Evangelist Inyima Kalu TV, Treasurer of Excellent Knowledge. I am your serviceable servant, Evangelist Inyima Kalu. I want to speak on the topic, the fulfilled life. The fulfilled life. What is the fulfilled life? Many people will have different perception, giving different definitions of what a fulfilled life is, or what the fulfilled life is. But I am here to tell you from points of reality. This is the reason I always put the motto, from points of reality, in my books. That is from the perspective and definition and the purpose of reality. And where is that, or what is that? That is God. I am going to tell you what the fulfilled life is, the factors, the principles that determine the fulfilled life from God's own perspective, God's own definition, and according to God's own purpose, the fulfilled life. The text is from Genesis, the book of Genesis, chapter 1, verse 3 and verse 4. And God said, "Let there be light," and there was light. Verse 4 says, and God saw the light, and God saw that the light was good, suitable, pleasant, and he approved it. And God separated the light from the darkness. This is God showing us what it takes to live the fulfilled life. Number one, potency. Potency is might. Potency is might, potentials, abilities put together, talents, knowledge, skill, prudence, wisdom, understanding, all of the human resources put together is brought into this universal word, potency. God is not a human being, but God created human beings in his image, which means human beings possesses the potency of God. Humans are secondary to God. Humans are secondary to God, according to God's plans. If not that, we have allowed ourselves and the Satan to sabotage that purpose. If not that, we have been aligning with Satan for sabotaging that purpose. So, potency is the primary principle and factor to living the fulfilled life. Potency, I mean, is that the potency God had embedded in us and for his own purpose. The second is mastery. Mastery. We are to be masterful. We are to be masterful. The majority of human beings are mediocres, and the worst are the Christians, the Muslims, and other religionists. The majority of us are mediocres. We are not masterful. I don't mean we are not talented. I don't mean we are not industrious. I don't mean we don't pursue money like others. I don't mean we don't pursue success, prosperity, and fulfillment like others. What I mean is that a lot of us are not competent. We are half-cooked. We are half-trained, the majority of us. So we lack mastery. We lack mastery. We are not masterful In many things we are doing, we do them in low scales. Not because we do not wish to begin to do them in high scales, but just because we are not able either to endure or to plan and to put the effort to developing ourselves, sharpening our skills, to becoming excellent. So when I say we are not masterful, I mean we don't have the excellent capacity to be performing excellently. So, but there are people who are masterful. There are people who are masterful. So when I say we, I always mean the majority. There are people who are masterful among the Christians, the Muslim, other religious communities, and the socialists. There are people who are masterful, and we know a lot of them. So, but the point I'm making is the principles and the factor that it requires to live the fulfilled life. The third one is confidence. Many people lack confidence. There are people who are not self-confident. Being self-confident does not mean being arrogant. It does not mean being rude. So I'm not talking about being arrogant. So being arrogant as a means of expressing self-confidence is foolishness. It is idiocy. I'm not talking about being scornful. I mean about evaluating self, knowing self-worth, knowing what we can do, what you can do, what I can do as individuals. Even when others cannot identify our ability, we first of all identify our ability and being courageous based on our vision, our purpose, our assignment, our ambitions, being courageous to pursuing them, whether people support us or not. I don't mean we do not demand for support, but being confident is that we have to know ourselves, know what we are able to do, what we are not able to do, then begin to develop on what we are able to do, and begin also to develop to begin to do those things we are not able to do. And making sure that nothing, no condition, no circumstance discourages us for doing the good thing. That is the confidence I am talking about. The fourth one is independence. Confidence previously, now independence. Independence does not mean living in isolation. It does not mean being so introvert. It does not mean being so discriminative with people. Being independent does not mean we don't have to build strategic relationship. That does not mean we don't have to relate with others in business and whatsoever. That is not what I mean by being independent. Being independent does not mean also to be rude, to be anarchic. It is not the attitude of deciding nobody tells me what to do. This is my life, I have to live it the way I want. No, that is not what I mean by independence, because that independence is satanic. The independence I'm talking about is to be self-reliance in some cases. That is learning and being able to survive alone, to succeed alone, even when people cannot give us the necessary support. We'll be able to succeed alone. In this case, there was nobody in existence before God created this light, before God began his creation. So God never depended on people to validate his abilities. He never depended on anybody, and he never began to call the angels in heaven to validate him before he will create that light. What God did is that God was able to assess himself to realize that he has the capacity to decree the existence of that light, and the light will come. There are situations in life where we will not depend on the validation of others, where we will not depend on external validation. This is what I mean. Because at times, external validation is very, very good, though, but we are to build ourselves, build our confidence, become independent to the extent that even if the people refuse to validate us, then we must be resilient to continue in what we are doing. Because many people stop halfway in pursuing their goals, in pursuing their purpose, in pursuing their success and prosperity and fulfillment, in being creative in whatever, and the impact they started to create, they stop halfway, or they stop pursuing their dreams just because they were dependent on people to tell them, you are able, you can do it, you are doing it well, giving them the recognition, validating them. When nobody validated them, they began to think that there is no certainty of the success of what they are pursuing. They begin to give up. Some people were also deceived in the process, because some people depend to get validation from those who hate them, and they are ignorant resenters. Those who hate them are those who do not have their progress in mind. They depend on those people to get validation, and it makes them not to continue to pursuing their goals. Then their ignorant resenters are those who cannot identify their ability. As I am now, there are people who cannot identify my ability. If I have depended on such a people, I would have stopped this journey as soon as I started it earlier. I mean, when I became so serious into this journey from 16 years ago, when I became so serious and began to study intensively, I would have stopped it maybe 6 months from the starting time, or 1 year from the starting time. Because when I started it, almost the majority of the people around me were not able to understand me. They were not able to understand my purpose. They were not able to understand my direction, where I was going, where I was targeting to reach my destination. They never understood it. Even as I have matured up to this extent, there are people who cannot, there are people around me who cannot really understand what I can do, what God can do through me, the potency in me, what I am doing. Even this teaching that I'm teaching now is not making any sense to some people. So these are the ignorant resenters. There are people who cannot see anything good about you, about what you do, no matter how you do it. At times it is not that they hate you, it is just because they are ignorant. And when you look at such people, you see that they themselves have no connection to the reality of life. They may be wealthy, they may be connected, but come to talk of the reality of life and the fulfilled life, they are nowhere to be found. So it is very, very important to be resilient, be independent. Independence is the fourth factor. Then assurance. God created the light. He decreed the light, and the light came into existence, and God confirmed that the light is good. Assurance. God was sure that he was able to create the light. And when God created the light, he re-evaluated the light to confirm that it is good. What are you doing? Are you sure of your potentials? Are you sure of your potency? Are you sure of the products? What have you produced? Are you sure they are good or bad? I'm talking on the positive side. I'm not talking about producing things. I don't mean producing destructive articles, materials, ideology, or whatever. I mean producing productive and developing stuffs. Are you sure that they are good? Do you have sure knowledge? Do you truly understand? God was sure, and God is still sure that the light is good, and the evidence is because of the purpose the light is serving. So many people give up, many people get confused, many people get shattered because a time came, the time of complications, equivocacy, that they were not sure of what they are doing. So assurance is very, very important. Assurance is the fifth principle and the factor to living the fulfilled life. The sixth one is creativity. God is creative. God created the light. God created other things. So creativity is one of the factors. Creativity, innovativeness. So it is about thinking of things inside of us, and we begin to venture into bringing them into reality. That is what creativity is. Creativity is not always evident in material. It can be evident in teaching. It can be evident in different kinds of things. So what I'm doing is also creativity. I am creating ideology, guidance. It is called mentorship. So creativity in different sorts. We are to be creative. Without being creative, we cannot live the fulfilled life. One of the reasons many people cannot live the fulfilled life is that they are not creative. They don't have creative idea. They don't have creative venture. They cannot, that is, many people are confused. Some people just follow the crowd. Some follow the trend. Some people just come to exist in life. All that some people understand is make money, feed your family, then enjoy with your wife or your husband or whatsoever sexual partner. Then amass wealth. That is all that people understand about living the fulfilled life. And in the process, many people do not achieve all of this. They may have children, but may end up being poor because there is lack of creativity, and there is lack of other factors. Then the seventh one is purpose. We must have a purpose. God created the light for a purpose. God had a purpose. God separated the light from the darkness. And it was because, as I said yesterday, it is as a result of that darkness God decided, God had intended. So purpose is related to intention. What is the intention? What is the aim? What is the objective of creating or doing what you are doing? So God has his purpose to creating the light and to creating every other thing he has created, including creating human beings. Many people are not purposeful in life. Many people do not know why they do what they are doing. Many people do not even understand why they exist as human beings, why God had placed us into this earth, what we are to serve. So many people do not serve their purpose. Neither do they have their own purpose to create or to venture. Apart from God-given purpose, in our personal engagement, many people are not purposeful. These are the factors that make people not to be fulfilled in life. Then to be fulfilled in life, all these factors must be in place in every individual who must be fulfilled. Not just being in place and being practical. The eighth one is authenticity. Authenticity. Are you authentic? Are your products authentic? God is authentic. God is not compromised in character, in ideology. God is not compromised. God is authentic. God is truthful. And God's creation is authentic. God created the light. And we see that God confirmed that it is good. We have to be authentic. We have to be authentic. Being authentic is not about receiving flattery from others. It is about being sure that we are doing the right thing, and being sure that we are bringing out the rightful products, that whatever we produce, is it ideology, is it material, is it whatever, is it in business, is it in manufacturing, are we authentic? Are our products authentic? Authenticity is a means to living the fulfilled life, because the authenticity is unbeatable, the truth is unbeatable, integrity is unbeatable. All of these things put together, they are related to authenticity. Being authentic to your service, being authentic to worshiping God in spirit and in truth, being authentic in everything we are doing, in our relationship, in our marriage. Are we authentic? Are we compromised? So authenticity is one of the principle and the factor to living the fulfilled life. I want to talk on the 8th one days. Now, the 9th, impact. What impact are you creating? God created impact. God created impact. Impact. The creations are the evidences of God's impact to the space called the earth. Then the enjoy we get from the creation, the enjoyment we get from the sun, from the moon, from the light, as the light stand here as the case example, they are impact. God is impacting us. God is creating impact in the life of humanity by Him giving us the light, even giving us the darkness to be our resting time, the light to be our working time. So God is creating impact. Anyway, it is undeniable. No matter there are satanic scientists and the rest of the people who try to deny this reality and causing confusion to deluding the people, some of them are the members of the globalists. But God is impactful. Are you impactful? What impact are you creating into the life of others? What impact what I'm doing now is a means of creating impact into the life of others. I have other means of creating impact into the life of others. The last one, the 10th, is legacy. The legacy. All of God's creations are God's legacy. You and I are part of God's legacy. So God created His creation is His legacy. Everything contained in that creation is legacy. The reason is that they never all fizzle away. Even while human beings are dying on a daily basis, new human beings are being born on a daily basis. Crops are being taken, sold, and eaten by the people, yet they reproduce. So God has set a system. It is investment where God go to rest, yet His business continue to move on, and He continue to cash out. He continue to cash out. We eat, we give Him thanks, we give Him glory. So God's product is still in process, and that is the reason God had created us human beings and had made us the steward of His earth, so that we will be managing and be accounting to Him. So God is the greatest business, the greatest investor, the greatest entrepreneur. So there is nothing good lacking in God. This is illumination I am giving to you. So may God bless you. May God bless you. Legacy. What legacy are you planning to leave to the next generation? Or have you already created legacy? Because there are people who have created legacies even while they are alive. Some people may not understand. This is one of my legacy. This is one of my legacy. All of these books will outlive me. Some of the books will, if Christ will tarry, some of these books may stay up to 500 years, 200 years, 300 years, 1,000 years. Even my aim is that if God will give me that opportunity, let my books be put in heaven. I'm not talking about selling them in heaven. In heaven, I will not be selling them. Let my books be used for education in heaven. So this is one of, it is one of those. See, this is one of them. The other one is the Olivet Prophecy, Matthew 24. This is lost and their problems from points of reality. This is polygamy and its problem from points of reality. The Sacred Soldier, Evangelist Nima Kalu. So, polygamy and its problem from points of reality. Living a contented life. Living a contented life from points of reality. Living a contented life from points of reality. Can you see? Very good. All these things are my legacies. This is the master of them all. Understanding and executing righteousness. The master, Ogandi Oga, in among my books. This is a. So I remain your serviceable servant, Evangelist Imakalo. All of my books are being published and managed by Prime 7 Media. They are all available in Amazon, in Prime 7 Media, and other platforms where you can buy them and begin to use them for your personal development, your family development. It is my wish that every family should be having at least one copy of each of my books. I really mean business. I am into the business of developing human beings, making people valuable and marketable. I am a human capital developer. I am an evangelical author, and I am a custodian of Christianity. I am your serviceable servant, Evangelist Imakalo. I will come your way once again very soon. I say to you, bye for now.